Disclaimer: I do not own the haiku characters that are to be used in this story. Photos or covers were picked from Google. Credits to the owner.
Kageyama was sitting in a cafe, getting bored while waiting for Yachi, Yamaguchi, and Tsukishima to arrive. The well-known, first years of Karasuno's volleyball club, had an on-the-spot meet-up at one of the cafes in Miyagi. Kageyama returned to Miyagi for the week before having to go to Brazil for the Olympics. So, Yachi decided to have a mini reunion with the others, to which everyone agreed, except Hinata. The chime of the bell got Kageyama's attention as Yachi entered the cafe. "Hello, Tobio-kun. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I got held up by my supervisor," Yachi said as she sat across from Kageyama. "Don't worry, I didn't wait that long. I just came early." The door opened again as Yamaguchi and Tsukishima entered the cafe. "Oh, there they are. Hey guys, over here." The two noticed Yachi and walked towards them. "Hey Hitoka, how are you?" Yamaguchi said as they neared the table. "I'm great, how about you?" Yachi asked as she looked at Kageyama. "Tobio-kun, scoot over, I'll sit beside you," she said as she looked again at Yamaguchi and added, "You guys can sit here." Yachi transferred beside Kageyama while Yamaguchi and Tsukishima took the opposite seat. As everyone was situated in their seats, Yachi started the conversation. "So how are you guys? I guess you're still together, aren't you?" Kageyama raised an eyebrow and stared at Tsukishima, waiting for the response. We already broke up," Yamaguchi replied. "What? Why?" Yamaguchi shifted uncomfortably in his seat as he glanced at Tsukishima, who had a staring contest with Kageyama. Something happened, so we broke up after our graduation. I don't want to go on with the details, but we are on good terms and still friends. Oh, by the way, have you heard any news about Shōyō-kun?" Everyone looked at Yachi since he mentioned the orange-haired boy. No one heard anything about him. "Why don't we ask the king if he knows his whereabouts?" Tsukishima provokingly said, which made Kageyama chuckle. "Why would I know?" Tsukishima shrugs. "Don't know. Maybe because you are his best friend." "Yeah," Kageyama nods. "I'm the best friend who knows every single thing about him." Tsukishima stared blankly at Kageyama as the latter mocked him. Yamaguchi clears his throat to catch Kageyama's attention. "So, do you know where he had been? I tried to contact him on his social media, but all of them were deactivated." "Oh, nothing much. He is just working his ass off, training volleyball in other parts of the world," Kageyama casually said. "Why would he deactivate his social media accounts? How are we supposed to reach him?" "I miss Shōyō-kun," Yachi whined. "He is just cutting himself from stress. Let him be," he unamusingly replied. A chain of notifications from Kageyama's phone cut their conversation. He checked it and found it was his soulmate's group chat. "SOS. Did you murder Shōyō?" "I did not." "Oh my gosh. Why would you think that?" "Don't know." "Did you cause an injury?" "I would-chan." "Why would Toru murder Shōyō? He's in Argentina. Haven't you checked your IG?" "No need to check. Here. If you touch him wrong, even a single strand of hair." "What is wrong with both of you?" "I didn't murder Shōyō-kun, okay. He's perfectly alive but dead." "Shitikawa. I mean, he is in the worst state. He is practically dead, emotionally or something. Just I don't know. I don't know how to explain. He's not someone as bubbly as before." "Tobio-chan, what should I do? I don't think that playing beach volleyball with him for a short time is enough." Kageyama was anxious all of a sudden. He didn't respond to Oikawa's message. Instead, he was already checking some early flights going to Brazil. "Is everything alright, Tobio-kun?" Yachi asks as she takes a glance at Kageyama's phone. He looked slightly at Yachi and then returned to his phone. "Yeah, just. Is there something wrong with your soulmates?" Yachi asked again. No, not really, Tobio-chan. I swear to God, if you haven't responded for this instance, I'll think you love Shōyō-kun more than me." "You do know your statement is correct, Shitikawa. If I'm allowed, I'll swap you with Shōyō." SLR, I was looking for the earliest flight going to Brazil. I am hurt. Anyways, why would you do that? The plane ticket is expensive for having an immediate booking. Tobio-chan. Shōyō should have been texting me about his day an hour ago, but he hasn't made any messages, and in fact, he met you. He usually shoots me a message instantly. So definitely something is wrong. Do you have enough funds? Yeah, I have separate savings aside from our joint account. Just for this kind of emergency. Why I do feel like if I and Shōyō were drowning, you'd choose to save him more than me. Kageyama rolled his eyes at Oikawa's drama. Well, he can't blame him because it is partially true. He was about to reply when an unregistered number suddenly called him. 55, that is the phone code of Brazil, he thought as he answered the call. Hello, is this Tobio Kageyama? The person on the line asks. Yes, speaking. Who is this? Everyone at the table looks at Kageyama. It was the first time they heard Kageyama speaking in straight English. Oh, I'm Kato Lucio, I'm Hinata's coach. Well, aside from me, you are his second emergency number, so I can contact you, Coach Kato said. What happened? Well, he is currently at the hospital for a minor injury. What? I'm booking the earliest flight going there. I'll send my email so you can update me about his condition, Kageyama immediately said. Okay, Kageyama-kun, are you perhaps his soulmate? Kageyama was taken aback by Kato's question. He looked at TsukiHina as the latter was already staring at him. No, I'm not his soulmate. Is his condition connected with it? Based on the initial findings, the doctor thinks it was connected with it. Kageyama inhaled as he was trying to stay calm. I'll send you the details of his doctor. I'm currently outside, so I cannot discuss this over the phone. Okay, thank you so much, Kageyama-kun. After Kageyama sends his email and Dr. Shirabu's contact information, he goes to his soulmates group chat. Tobio-chan wasn't replying again. Toru, I love you both. WTF. I have to go. I have to contact Auntie this instant. I fucking need to go to Brazil. Something happened to Shōyō. What the fuck happened, Tobio? I'm not sure yet, just that Shōyō's coach called me, informing that Shōyō is in the hospital for a minor injury. I need to go. I have several phone calls to make. Bye. After he informs their group chat, he called Hinata's mother. Tobio-kun, what? Kageyama immediately signals Yamaguchi to stop talking. Hello, Auntie. I'm sorry, this is urgent, I just need to borrow your plane. I need to go to Brazil this instant. Is there something wrong with my baby boy? Mrs. Hinata worriedly asks. I think so, Auntie. I see. I'll prepare the plane for you. I'll inform you about the details. Pack your things. Thanks, Auntie. He ended the call and dialed his coach's number. While waiting for the call to be connected, he looks at the people around him. They were confused and a little worried. I'm sorry guys. I have to go. I have a flight to catch. It's an emergency. Is it Oikawa-san? No, not him. Is it Shōyō? Kageyama just glared at TsukiHina. The call was connected. Moshi, coach, this is Kageyama. I just want to inform you that I'm heading now to Brazil. Can't it wait? We're about to go there 2 weeks from now. It can't wait. It is an emergency. I'm sorry, coach. Is this about Hinata Shōyō? It is. Okay. This will be the last time I'm allowing this, Kageyama-kun. Thank you, sir, he said as he ended the call. Bye, guys. When Kageyama left, what was that? Yachi worriedly asks. I'm not sure, but I think it's about Shōyō-kun, Yamaguchi said. TsukiHina took out his phone and dialed a number. Hello, sir. Look again for the flights 6 months ago. To be specific, flight bound to Brazil, TsukiHina said. Sir, we've already looked at those flights before. This time, look for the name TsukiHina Shōyō instead. Got it, sir. When TsukiHina ended the call, he made eye contact with Yachi. TsukiHina, Shōyō. Yamaguchi averted his gaze as he sipped his coffee. What the actual fuck is that? TsukiHina pushed his eyeglasses. Just tell me the whole truth, TsukiHina-K. Since when did Shōyō bear your last name? Since high school, first year high school. What? He is my husband. But then, in our third year, you cheated on him with Yamaguchi. Due to Yachi's outburst, everyone at the cafe looks in their direction. Hitoka, just calm down, Yamaguchi said as he looked around the cafe. Yachi also looked around and slightly bowed as an apology. She looked at Yamaguchi and angrily asked, "You knew about this?" "No, not entirely. Just when we graduated. Not directly. I didn't know they were married. But I knew they were soulmates," Yamaguchi explained. "Soulmates too." She looked at TsukiHina. "What the fuck is wrong with you? What did Hinata do with you? It's an arranged marriage, okay? It's just a family agreement before. No feelings attached. And yet when you learned he is your soulmate, what did you do, huh?" Yachi provokingly asks. TsukiHina remains silent. He doesn't even make any eye contact with Yachi. You know it is dangerous for a person who was rejected by their soulmate to be alone. Especially if the rejection wasn't reciprocated. TsukiHina knew about this. This was taught in school before. About the pros and cons. But he didn't recognize that he had been rejected by Hinata before. A pain in his cheek cut his thoughts. "Hitoka." Yamaguchi was surprised at what the girl did. "Does it hurt?" TsukiHina stared at Yachi as he felt the sting from the slap that the latter had done to his cheek. "Based on your reaction, it is. So you haven't lost your sense of touch. You are academically smart, TsukiHina, but I guess it is just for academics. I'm disappointed. How come Shōyō is your soulmate? He doesn't deserve this at all," she said as she left the cafe. After 21 hours of suffering in a plane, Kageyama arrived in Rio. He took a cab and headed to Hinata's apartment. During the car ride, he scanned the prognosis that was sent to him in his email about Hinata's injury. Lacerations, second-degree burns, mental health issues, etc. When he reached the apartment, he knocked on the door and waited for someone to open it. "Coming," someone said in Portuguese as he opened the door. "Hi, is Shōyō here? Are you Kageyama?" "Yes, I am." "Oh, I'm Pedro. Come in." He let Kageyama enter the house. "The Olympics should be 2 weeks from now. Shōyō will be sad to see you too early." "Where is he?" "He is resting in his room," Pedro said as he pointed at Hinata's room. I'm not sure what he's going through, but I'm sure he needs someone familiar to be at his side right now." Kageyama nodded and said, "Thank you. I'll be in my room. If you need anything or need help, just shout to me." Kageyama knocked softly at Hinata's door and slowly opened it. He saw the ginger lying in his bed, unmoving, back-facing the door. He walked to the other side of the bed, and he saw that Hinata was still awake, staring blankly. He kneeled in front of Hinata and softly caressed his cheek. "Hey, Shōyō." Hinata blinks, eyes focused on Kageyama. "Tobio. Hey, can you give me some space to lie down?" Hinata scoots a little to give Kageyama some space, and the latter lifts the blanket and gets situated in the space of the bed. When Kageyama got comfortable in the bed, Hinata easily cuddled beside Kageyama. He laid his head on the latter's chest as he inhaled its scent. It became their routine during high school when Hinata could have a sleepover at Kageyama's house. They're enveloped by a comfortable silence as Hinata slowly taps his injured finger in Kageyama's chest. It is one of his tricks to be able to sleep whenever he's with Kageyama. "Hey, stop it," Kageyama whispered as he gently held Hinata's injured hand as if it were made of glass. "You might injure yourself further if you tap your injured hand." Hinata stared blankly at the wall again as he said, "Toby. I can't feel anything. I've started to lose my touch." His eyes started to blur as fresh tears formed in his eyes. "I'm scared," he sobs. Kageyama exhaled as he slowly kissed the bandaged fingers and wrist. He hates to see how his best friend suffers so much. "Why are you scared?" "I'm scared because of my choices if I choose correctly. If you can change it, you know that, right?" Hinata stared at Kageyama and said, "I don't want to." Kageyama stared back at Hinata. The sparks in the latter's eyes already disappeared. It's like he is staring at a lifeless doll. He wanted to cry. He wanted to scream and curse whoever gods could hear him. He doesn't like this kind of Hinata in front of him. He doesn't like his bubbly, hyperactive best friend turned into a hollow one. The love of his life, His Shōyō does not deserve to suffer the consequences of soulmate rejection. He hugs Hinata tightly. Please, Shōyō, you just have to reject him, and then you won't suffer too much. I'll take care of you after that. But he knows, even though many times he tried to persuade Hinata to reciprocate the rejection. The latter won't budge. Hinata shook his head and said, "No, I don't want to. He deserves to feel, Toby, and you're already taking care of me. Shōyō, at least, just tell him about this." "I'm sleepy," Hinata said as he tried to avoid the topic. Kageyama exhales, knowing he can't do anything about this. "Okay, take your rest. I'll be here when you wake up."
To be continued. If you like this video, consider subscribing by clicking the subscribe button. Bye!